This evening I spoke to the leader of the BNP, Nick Griffin, and put it to him that while some of the issues raised by the party had made their way into the wider debate, people had not and were not now turning to the BNP.
It's certainly true, not en masse, but we took 36% of the vote in a Sussex seat just a couple of weeks ago. That's the kind of area we wouldn't have expected to get a vote many years ago, so it's happening, bit by bit.
But you've got less than 50 councillors out of more than 20,000 councillors. They may be listening to things you have to say, but they're not espousing your beliefs.
I think the important thing that we've done is it's our presence and the votes we've been getting, which has forced people like the BBC to start to take seriously the concerns of particularly the English working class.
Well, in the opinion poll, people reject a kind of race response. Half of the white working class who responded said they had more in common with others of a similar class background, whatever their ethnicity or religion. It's about class, not race.
I certainly agree it's not about race. In fact, the BBC has asked entirely the wrong question by talking about the white working class. It's not a matter of white. There's a million polls here over the last couple of years. They're white. This should be talking about the indigenous working classes of Britain. That's the English, the Scots, the Irish and the Welsh, particularly the English, who've borne the brunt of mass immigration.
But if you look at these responses, and they are quite complex, these responses, negative impact on the white working class, drug and drink culture features much more highly than immigration.
Absolutely, and you cannot possibly separate out the hard drugs trade from the question of Islam, and particularly Pakistani immigration. That's where it's coming from.
So what you're saying is you're actually conflating the two, and you're saying drug and drinks. When people are saying drug and drinks, they mean Pakistan.
No, I'm not saying drinks. I'm saying in any working class area in Britain, in a multiracial area, the hard drugs problem is related to Islam and Pakistan.
I think there's a number of people that would dispute that. Let's move on to look at the fact that half say that, given time, successive waves of immigration have actually benefited Britain. I'm
sure that's true. The Huguenots, the Jews, the Irish, that's entirely true. But you have to have sensible numbers, and what we've got now quite clearly is absolutely out of control immigration, and this is what people are concerned about. And I think it's very interesting that although the headlines is this is a working class concern, actually the concern amongst middle class people and people in rural areas is almost as high, and immigration is affecting everyone's perception of this country and making everyone feel very uneasy.
In this, it's very clear that actually the issues that people are concerned about mean that it's globalisation, it's about poverty, it's globalisation, not immigration that are affecting people's lives.
Globalisation is a huge problem. The destruction of British jobs, either by mass immigration or by outsourcing of jobs, is a problem, of course.
Well, it's about manufacturing base leaving Britain because of the economy.
Yeah, but no, it's not because of the economy, it's because successive governments have got a free trade view of the world where they think it's fine to have an open doors policy for immigration and an open doors policy for our finances going out of the country. As nationalists, we disagree.
Do you still hold the view that mixing races is not a good thing because it destroys separate race and culture?
Both myself and lots of Sikhs and Hindus and West Indians, plenty of them agree with me, yes.
So the perception that is espoused through the BNP in race hatred, that's why people are rejecting the BNP?
It's because the BBC say something like that's race hate. I would say that people who want to reduce the world to a monoculture, coffee-coloured world, they're the ones who actually hate individual races and cultures. It's only fair to say you hate other races if you want something for your own people that you don't want for them. And I believe that every people in the world is entitled, all indigenous people are entitled to preserve their own culture, their own heritage in their own place, and we're the indigenous people in this country.